end, there's like a bell, like a ding, ding, and it's ever so faint. It chimes 4 times. A few more minutes go by, and then it chimes again. And between these two, a couple of these segments, you come around the corner and you start to see a light out in the distance, and there's quite a few of them all together. And it looks like a dock, and it looks like a large settlement, and it's a far cry from Sloopadoop. This settlement, from this distance, you can clearly see there is a wall surrounding a large part of the left and right sections of this dock. There are two large towers on either side with a couple of lights at the top, and you can't really see into the settlement from here, but it appears to have a few more of these towers on the other side as well. It takes you a good hour or more to get close, and you start to see boats coming out of the settlement. So you have a choice. You can attempt to dock with your boat, or there is a berthing point that you're just coming past. So you could try to get in by land or by sea.
Oh, the boat.
Well, we know Lee is all about docking.
It's a pleasure name
What
here.
you're implying.
What's he been telling you, Nomi?
So what are you doing?
I would say whichever way is not out in the open and so obvious.
I don't think it's in our best interests to dock. Speaking as a professional,
As a professional docker.
yes.
Yes. On Iggy's business card, Ignatia, professional doctor.
Docker. Part-time.
Nice. Oh god, it
I
started
mean-
already.
What do you mean started already? We did like 40 minutes. I mean, we've
didn't
been
have the
really
fluff.
well behaved.
We didn't have the fluff beforehand, so we've got to get it all out.
Exactly.
Penis.
Penis and boobies and sex toys.
And vaginas.
You can get to different places.
Oh dear.
Okay, anyway, back to serious character stuff.
There you go.
Draw it in. Oh no, that was the wrong thing to say. Oh, my
no, I
god.
was like, set me up again now. Ignatius going to be like, we should do another word for doc and birth. Thank you. And walk in. Not that we need to hide that we came from Sloopy-Doop, but I don't think it would make them especially welcome to us.
We are on a
We're
on a vehicle that belongs to the Kurotoa.
Yep.
But we're clearly not Croatoa.
Yep.
Obviously, thank you, Optimist. You are astute as ever. Obviously, if we turn up and news of Boots has reached here, which it will have done because the rumour mill works faster than anything else, us turning up might send the wrong message.
They might think that we summoned the demon.
Yeah. So,
Are we all unanimously agreeing on birthing then?
point at the shore. Stick the pointy. I'm a soldier, not a sailor.
Okay, so you make birth, and Do you tie the boat off? Do you hide it? Do you just leave it? What do you do? What do you do?
Is there anything to tie the boat to?
Yeah. I mean, one of you's bound to have rope, right?
I don't.
Yes.
I don't think.
I have rope.
But no,
Yes.
row.
I
Too
also
soon.
have rope.
Too
Too
soon.
Too
Too
soon.
soon. Too soon.
God damn it.
I will offer my rope up as tribute. So Nomi doesn't have to.
The fuck?
I don't know. Just because we're both gonna be like, I have rope. We both have rope. Ah!
Rope friends.
Friends.
Friends. OMG, we have like so much in common.
What the fuck?
I will tie the boat up in a non-kinky fashion.
Oh my god.
It's only
Ignatia,
just been birth. That's just.
Ignatia demonstrates her Japanese knot tying.
Oh dear.
Now all we need is Bella and the night is complete.
Yeah, let's get off this damn boat.
Yep,
Yeah.
off the boat.
Okay, so you decide to berth the boat, and you obviously have decided to try and find the entrance to the settlement on foot. It takes you a few hours. You have a rest in between, and surprisingly, nothing happens during that time.
Don't you say a fucking word, Nathan.
You got an advantage on that roll, haven't you, Ryan? It's like, yes, Nathan, I have actually. Yes, I have.
Aren't you the
Thank you.
DM and you can just decide that something happens?
You don't need to roll, do you? Demogorgon!
Anyway.
Why does
sorry.
Nathan sound like this all of a sudden?
Not sure.
Has great range, many voices.
That's true, that's true.
The day that Ryan wants the story to end abruptly, everybody turns a corner and standing in front of them is Orcus. Took the wrong turn in. Anyway, as you travel, the ground under your feet is starting to get smoother and flatter. A welcome respite from the uneven passages to which you have grown warily accustomed to. Eventually, stone tiles become more noticeable, turning the path into a proper road. You can see spots of lights in the distance, blue and white, and too regularly spaced to be fluorescent mushrooms. The lights are proper lamps, flanking two massive stone gates blocking the tunnel. Before you get a chance to examine the intricate carvings of the gate's surface, a harsh voice hisses from a slit on the cavern wall that was not there before. "State your names and your business!" The voice orders in Dwarvish. Other similar slits open, revealing tips of a dozen crossbow bolts. Behind you, a metallic din announces a group of 6 heavily armoured dwarves appearing out of thin air. Their swords levelled at you from behind sturdy metal shields.
Am I the only one that speaks Dwarven?
I think you are.
Yeah, I think so.
Yep.
Okay, I put my hands up and just put, guys, which we are travellers. We are lost in the Underdark. And we are here to trade, and we are here for peaceful purposes.
You do notice immediately, because this is quite apparent, that these dwarves don't look like you. You know what these are, and these are Durgar.
Oh, good.
Under dwarves.
All of them are like obsidian tinted skin, complete white hair, white beards. They're very plain armor. It's not very dwarvish. It looks, in shape, it's dwarvish by design, but it's not ornate or has the similar sort of like engravings that you're accustomed to seeing by dwarven soldiers.
Yeah.
They're very plain. There's no ornamental service to them, is what I'm trying to say. And you know, the Durgar have an innate ability from being in the Underdark. They can turn invisible. As soon as they hit puberty, they gain the ability to turn invisible. So you're not surprised that you didn't see these 6 soldiers.
Yeah.
And you probably realise at this moment that you may have walked inches by them and not noticed that they were there.
I'd like to quickly in common just be like, guys, chill, don't do anything stupid. And look at Artemis. And look at Artemis again. Don't do anything stupid.
Artemis just shrugs and looks away.
Okay.
And then Ignatia flying kicks it. No, I'm joking.
Roll me an attack! You get 1 free joke.
Back to life with a demigorgon on his back, saying, "Fuck the world."
Ro is the Demogorgon.
Oh god.
Rose the
fused.
Demogorgon all along.
He's fused.
And Ro and the demigorgon's body lived happily ever after.
2.5 kids in the white picket fence in the Underdark.
State your
Anyway,
names
stop
and your
painting with the,
business.
I am Krixari Thordy's daughter. These are my companions. We are here for peaceable purposes. We are not here to cause insults to anybody. You don't know what I'm saying.
No,
I'm saying
but
this in Dwarven.
I don't know. But Emmy knows.
We're not here to start a fight.
I shall repeat, state your business.
We are here to trade and to find information about this place. We are travellers. And we seek shelter and trade and information. We have goods to barter.
When as soon as you say goods to barter, one of the soldiers kind of like looks you over.
Some goods to barter.
And he shakes his head. You assume that he's giving a signal to the person, whoever's talking to you. And he says, it appears that you have nothing on you that's worth anything. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you don't have money. How long have you been in the Underdark?
That's a good question, DM. How long have we been in the Underdark?
By your reckoning, a good 3 months.
What the
Oh
fuck?
my fucking god.
Oh yeah, there's that long path down from the surface when we got taken prisoner.
You need. Oh, I can't say anything because I don't know what's being said.
I say about 3 months, I think. We were taken here against our will, but we are free. And what goods would you like to barter? Or what goods, I suspect, are you going to try and extort out of us?
Them spectres.
And I give him a hard stare.
Extort out of you? We are not dwarven, like you. We don't extort.
Them's real fighting words. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
If you're going to enter Glackenstau with that kind of attitude, you're going to need to keep it to yourself.
Glackenslaw,
I
wait.
apologise.
Artemis.
I apologise. I meant no offence. I merely was wondering if this was a shakedown, as it was known on the surface.
That may be what happens from where you come from, but here we don't do those sort of things.
I meant no impugn on your honour. The words, you know what I'm saying. I'll also say we may not have goods that you wish to barter, but we can trade our services. I am a bard, and we are competent fighters. The human over there, he may look a bit dumb, but he's got some incredible contraptions, and he could be of use to somebody. But the rest of my party are able to defend themselves and would, we are not worthless. We have our services and things we can offer.
Fighters, you say? Yes. Okay. Fine. You hear it's like a chime or a ding, and the 6 Durgar guards that are in front of you lower their swords and sheath them and step back, and then instantly they're gone.
Cool.
Right in front of your eyes, they just vanish and turn invisible.
What the fuck?
The doors, the gates, you hear them grind as they're being pulled from across the stone. There's no wheels that are turning. You just hear the stone move as it was alive. On the other side, you can see some dwarven architecture that is very similar to Hill and Mountain dwarves, but is clearly Durgar architecture.
Okay.
The buildings are very angular and go straight up. There is a lot of wide space to allow movement in between. There's at least 2 carts width in between every building. The buildings seem to be formed in unison with these stone pillars that go from the ground up to the ceiling to give extra sort of strength and defense to them. It's very functional. There's no sort of like ornate design to them like you've seen from mountain dwarfs or hill dwarfs. There's nothing fancy about it. It's very functional, very there's a lot of military influence around, is what I'm trying to say. And it dawns on you that there's nobody else that you can see around the gate. So a few moments pass where it's kind of like, okay, what do we do?
I'll motion to the party and walk forward towards the gate and just to the air go, "Thank you, my dwarven cousins."
You hear no
welcome.
You hear no response, but you just walk in.
Cool. I didn't walk into anyone, do I? I was half expecting him to still be stood in front of me.
No.
Ignatia starts waving her hands in front of her to see if she can feel anything. Because she's really confused.
I'll give the party kind of the lowdown of what I know of Durgar and their abilities to vanish at will. Mm-hmm. And they were guards. They were guarding the entrance to Brackenstall. And we appear to be outside Brackenstall. So, should we have a wander?
Let's go. Artemis, you know the way.
This way, it points to the gate. And then walks.
So, as you walk into the city, a wave of heat slams against you as the arid smog rises to choke the air out of your lungs. Brackenstall's ambience spreads out a jumble of buildings and streets reflecting the lights of countless fires burning across the city within the bellowed columns and stalagmites. Through the streets are crowded, although the streets are crowded, you move easily within the surging throng of buyers, merchants, and slaves. You aren't the only outsiders here as you spy Drow, Smurf-Eblin, Darrow, Orcs, other races in the crowd. Shouting of people blends within the sound of distant hammering to create a constant, distracting din. You see merchant stalls that offer swords and shields and armor and all sorts of adventuring tools and all those kind of things that you would expect to see. There's a food market stall. You can't turn a corner without finding an armorer or a smithy or a weaponsmith of some description on every street. And every street that you turn, you can hear hammer against anvil, constant. And it's not in unison, it's just the noise is it's a unique thing to be accustomed to. It's loud, and you're probably it's about midday at this point, and you notice that you spend a couple of hours walking around. It feels very, even though it does feel very odd, to a large part of everyone here, very alien, you do feel somewhat relieved. You're not out in the wilderness, so to speak. You found some sort of civilization that is a shitload better than a bunch of crazy fish people. A couple of hours pass of you wandering around. You check out some of the stalls. You see there's a few odd sights that even on the surface seems to be a very rare occurrence. You see a drow talking to a wood elf, and there doesn't seem to be any sort of animosity. You see a stone giant wearing a long cloak with a hood over, wading through the not wading, but slowly walking through the traffic of the streets. He appears to have a sort of like monk sort of like feel, like aura from him when you look at him. He's got a very placid face. You come across, as you head south into the city, you notice that there's a ravine, or there's a void in the middle of the city that has a number of bridges that cross to the second half of the city. When you step close to the bridges, you notice the guards appear from nowhere. The guards step out to block your way and tell you in Dwarvish, "No entry, leave," and then kind of like point and try and push you back away from the bridges. It seems that you're confined somewhat to this half of the city, and the city is big. Is the section that you're in? You probably think that it's about 5,000 meters or so, 5,000 feet from one end to the next. It's quite large.
That's a lot of feet.
Mm-hmm.
There is a tavern that you've noticed. You've heard people talk about it before as well.
We all know what tide would be. To the pub. Raise a glass to the fallen.
It's good.
Yep, let's go.
Ryan's feeling like a twat because he hasn't wrote down what the pub's called.
Use your creativity. Make something up.
Oh dear, don't tell me that. You put me on the spot.
Yes, the Dave McJimbob Arms.
The pub.
You can use mine for my campaign if you want. The belligerent hob.
Yes! The belligerent hob.
Oh, I like that. No, it's in the dark. It's got to be unpronounceable.
It's in the dark and it's dwarvish, so it's got to be doubly fucking impronounceable.
Distraction.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
So I just looked up a tavern name generator online, and there's one called the Smart Paladin's Bar, and I think that works.
How apt.
Okay. There's the tavern is called Ladgraw's Blessing.
Okay.
That is what
Lagras.
Ladgraw's Blessing.
I'm gonna write Laggy's blessing. I thought you can't spell that.
And if
Can I do a history check, a religion check on that, see if I know the name?
you certainly can, you can have advantage because you're a cleric.
And a dwarf.
Oh, I love these two dice. They're the best dice ever. 17 and 19, so 21.
So you know that Ladgrar is basically the patron of the Durgar,
Okay.
who is the god of self-reliance, defense, and survival. And if you happen to come across any of his clerics, they might have similar abilities to yourself because they tend to be war clerics.
Kinky.
So yeah, so you enter the tavern. It's a nice tavern. It's very functional. It's not fancy. You've seen better in your travels. There is a Durgar that is serving behind the bar. There is 2 female Durgar, and also I'm saying Durgar because Dwergar just fucking annoys me. So there's 2 female Durgar there, and in the tavern itself, like patrons and stuff, there's a couple of elves on one table. There's quite a few tables of other Durgar in there as well. There doesn't seem to be somewhere for like a band or a bard to play. There's it looks like 2 orbs that seem to be floating, and there seems to be this like very ambient, relaxing sort of like tones and dins coming from it that seems to provide the music. And there seems to be something magical about it, because as soon as you cross the threshold into the tavern, all the noise from the constant battering of hammers on anvils vanishes completely. It sounds quiet, like you're in a tavern on some abstract backward road, and there's no sound coming from the outside world. Over in the corner, you see a gnome. He seems to be sat at a table with a very small drink.
Is it 2?
Is it happen to be prune juice, or is it an alcoholic beverage?
I mean, I'm not sure what drink he has at the minute. I'm sure he might tell you if you decided to speak to him. When you guys
fuck me sideways, it's Nook.
when you walk in,
Craig says that because she knows him.
Oh.
there is a point where you two kind of look at each other, and I mean, whatever happens, you decide what happens between you two. It depends on what good terms or bad terms you left it in.
You just see Nook jump up on his seat and say, "By the old father's beard!"
Yes!
I never thought I'd see your short arse again.
Who do that, son?
Okay, can I just like have a moment, right? I had the privilege of experiencing this voice at the weekend. Now, this voice wasn't coming out of Nook. It was coming out of a sentient shrub.
Yeah, I did an awakened shrub encounter just in case they got lost.
Called Jim.
Yeah,
Jim the shrub.
Yeah.
Jim the awakened shrub.
Very Monty Python.
Anyway, do continue.
Nook's gonna like have a drink of his ale and rush up to Crex.
Yeah, I'll high five, a low five rather.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a low five.
We'll go for a slightly awkward version of the Top Gun high five.
Yeah, we don't quite know each other like well enough to like be
But
that.
a friendly
close,
face
but
is always welcome.
So it's like,
welcome. Just like, are we high fiving right now?
Yeah.
Are we,
Okay, 1, 2, 3, go. Bam.
are we bumping knuckles? Are we high fiving? What are we doing?
Is it a handshake? I don't know.
Yeah.
I do.
So, you were going to say something. Sorry.
What the fuck are you doing down here?
Oh, you know me, Crex. I'm always wandering about. I'm here, there, and everywhere. Even the Underdark is much of a shithole as it is.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that too loud if I were you. They're a bit touchy about it.
That's why I was whispering. Beautiful bar, mate. Good bar.
You,
He's gonna get us all killed.
one of the women looks over and then doesn't give you any expression whatsoever. It's completely resting bitch face, and then goes back talking to the other one.
Good crowd. Good crowd tonight. You'll have fun performing for this lot.
They don't really like the dwarven cousins from the surface very much. They're a bit.
Oi, but us small folk, we gotta stick together. We have.
I mean,
He kind
yeah.
of eyeballs the elf and the human. Kind of like, yeah, you're tall. He doesn't know what you are. He knows you.
I
It's
just
like,
kind of like,
She,
I'm just like staring him down, just furrowing my brows, just what the fuck is going on? Like,
Oh, you're a serious one, aren't you?
Ignatius giving it a look of what the fuck is that? Just what is that? Why is it so loud? Can I drop kick it across the bar to get it away from me?
Yes. Yes, you probably could, to be honest.
So I kind of introduce him to the party and introduce then to Nook, and I would just say, I knew his grandfather,
Uncle.
uncle, same thing, elder
Wow.
relative.
Yes.
His
I knew
uncle
elder relative when I
grandfather.
was younger.
Some kind of
Called
inbreeding you got
Cranny.
in your family there, Nook.
So they went
called
around called
Cranny!
Nook and Cranny,
Nook and Cranny.
travelling merchants.
On a fucking bike. Nathan Hudson.
Oh, you got full named.
He did, and he also had a point to criticise me about Topsy and Turvy. Look,
know,
I'm just gonna highlight that. And that shit was in the book. I didn't even make that up.
Listen, alright, you guys need to stop being haters. That's what you need to do.
Hey mate,